So in the next 12 months, we're going to sell our e-commerce brand for $20 million plus. And I know that sounds like bullshit, but in this video, I'm going to show you our results. I'm going to talk about how we got to this point. I'm going to talk about why we're choosing to sell the brand and not just keep it. I'm going to talk about how we're going to sell it. And I'm going to talk about, I don't know, a load of stuff about e-com and growing brands. So if you're interested in either growing a brand or starting a brand, I reckon this is going to be pretty interesting for you. So a little bit about me, if you're new to the channel, I've been documenting the journey of basically doing Amazon FBA, e-commerce, and more recently in the past sort of like 7 or 8 months, more around Shopify and D2C. If you go to my channel, you'll see all of the videos, right? So this is 5 years ago. This is the very first video that I ever made. At this point, we'd only just started selling on Amazon, and we were selling in the UK and in the US market. We had a wallet brand in the UK. I've got one of the boxes here. So this is like the first product that we ever sold. We binned that off and we started a pet brand in the US, which I showed towards the end of the video. I think we just launched it and we just done like $5,000 in sales, which at the time blew our mind. And if you fast forward right to now, that brand is absolutely crushing it. We got rid of the wallets and we launched more products under the brand. We eventually pivoted it to being a pet supplement brand. So originally we just sold like single use products. So now we sell pet supplements and it's absolutely crushing it. So basically we were an Amazon brand for the first 4 years or so. And then about 9 months ago, 10 months ago or something, pretty much in January this year, we pivoted into selling D2C. So now we sell Shopify, TikTok Shop, and obviously Amazon, right? So you can see here since January, we've grown to 1.8 mil just on Shopify. We've also done about the same on Amazon. Last month in August, we did in total, where was it? Oh, I can't change this. So last 30 days, you can see last month in August, we did like $630,000 top line. Our net profit at the minute is hovering between 20 and 25%, depending on kind of some costs and stuff like that. But you can see here, we've had days, we actually had our biggest day ever recently where we did like $30,000 in a day, which was pretty nuts. So yeah, most of the sales are across Amazon and Shopify, but we're also starting to scale TikTok now. And yeah, it's been pretty nuts. This has basically gone from like a side hustle where I was aiming to make €500 a month. That was legitimately like my goal in the beginning. I wanted to make an extra €500 a month on top of my job. And then once I saw it work, I was like, shit, maybe I can make 5K a month. We obviously hit 5K a month. And now in the next 12 months, we're genuinely going to be able to sell this brand for over $20 million. So the reason I'm so confident in that, because obviously we're not at that valuation yet, is because it's a subscription brand and we're absolutely crushing the subscriptions. We've got over 5,000 active subscribers. You can see the last 30 days, our subscription revenue here. We're at about $260,000 MRR. So we're already up at like $3 million a year just in subscription revenue. Now, if you know anything about selling brands or selling any business in general, buyers love subscription revenue because subscription revenue means like lower risk, generally speaking. So if you are looking to start a brand or you're looking to scale a brand, I would recommend doing subscriptions because it just makes your brand unbelievably valuable, right? So we have recently, literally like 2 or 3 weeks ago, signed with an ecom broker who is going to help us over the like next 6 to 12 months, basically sell the business. Now, I'm going to dive into like the reasons of why we're selling it and kind of like the personal reasons of why I want to do it, why my co-founder Tom wants to do it. And then I'll randomly blab on about a load of other stuff. So the reason that we want to sell the brand, because a lot of people are kind of saying to us, like, if it's printing so much cash and it's growing as fast as it's growing, we're still growing like 30-40% month on month. I think this month we're projecting to grow like 30%. That's obviously not going to continue forever, but we've got a very, very like clear path to $2 million a month with this brand, right? So even if we didn't grow the top line revenue, with the rate of subscriptions, we can get to like 750K just in subscription revenue, basically without growing the top line revenue. Now, at that point, that's a $20 million brand. So we don't even have to grow the top line. We just continue to add on subscribers and we're going to plateau at like 750K in MRR, which is obviously like just stupid, right? That's such an incredibly valuable brand without actually growing the top line revenue. But we are growing the top line revenue. We're absolutely crushing the creative side with Meta. So recently we actually had an offer to buy 40% of the brand. It was a VC fund, like a fund that I've got like $50 to $100 million that they invest. They basically wanted to give me and Tom, my co-founder, 7 figures each. They offered us like $1 million each, and then they offered us a bunch of money where we could basically take some chips off the table. They would inject like $3 or $4 million into the business, and they would help us grow it to like a 50 or even $100 million a year brand. And then the plan is roughly to sell it in 4 or 5 years. Now, we ended up turning that down, to be super transparent. The reason that we turned it down is we just don't really want to do that. We're both like mid-30s now. We've just had kids. And honestly, I'm looking to have a big payday. I want to have that like financial freedom. When I first got into e-commerce, all I cared about was making a bit of extra cash. Like I talk about it on Instagram all the time. I talk about it on YouTube. I literally just wanted to make like an extra 500 quid. And then I wanted to quit my job, which I did. And then, the more I've scaled the business and learned about e-com, I've just, every single time we've set a goal, we've just smashed through it. And then all of a sudden we're at the point where we're like, shit, we've actually got a business that we could sell for like life-changing money. So I never really thought I would be at this point, but now it's very, very realistic. Like we could probably take this to market right now, and I think we could sell it for at least 5 or 6 million. So we would each get, 7 figures. But the brand is growing. It's super stable. It's super like safe. Everything is pointing in the right direction. So all we really need to do is kind of like keep the wheels on and don't fuck anything up. And we should get to over $1 million a month in revenue in the next like 3 to 4 months. And then it's going to fly past that. The subscriptions are going to compound. And to get a $20 million valuation, I think we need to get to maybe like $2 million in annual EBITDA or annual profit. I don't think that's going to be difficult because we're at almost like 1.4 now projected. So we're pretty much on the path to making what I would class as like fuck you money. Because if we manage to sell for even 12 million, we're going to get 6 million each. Obviously, you're going to pay tax on that. But then, that's $4 to $5 million. So individually, that's a lot of cash. All right, maybe not fuck you money, but that's kind of like the bottom end of what I'm expecting. And it sounds a bit ridiculous to say that out loud when it seems like 2 minutes ago that I was getting excited, hitting $1,000 a day in revenue. And recently we've had days where we do $30,000 in revenue. So sometimes I have to kind of pinch myself and just like think this is crazy because I've documented this on the channel, as you can see, for a long time. And a lot of the time you're kind of, you're not that big. Like, all right, you hit 100K a month. That's not that special in ecom. But now we're genuinely in the position where we can have like an 8-figure exit, right? Which not many people get to that point. And that's an amount of money where I don't have to worry about money for the rest of my life. So if you are new to ecom or building a business or you're scaling a small ecom brand, let me tell you, just stick at it because genuinely over the space of a few years, you can do crazy, crazy things. Like I never thought I'd be in this position. And I guess I can dive into some of the things that kind of I feel like has helped us along the way. The first one would be pivoting into subscription-based products. So we used to just be an Amazon brand. We only sold on Amazon. And it was about 18 months ago that we made the decision to pivot into subscription stuff. And then it was about 12 months ago that we made the decision to basically start selling off of Amazon. So this is selling obviously Shopify, TikTok, all that sort of stuff. And it was really once we made that decision that the brand really took off. Like if you only sell on Amazon, you're just limited by the number of people that are, buying stuff on Amazon. You hit this ceiling in terms of revenue. And once we launched on Shopify, you can see like how this just basically went fucking nuts. Like you can see we weren't even really selling this time last year. Like this time last year, we were doing $160. And then now we've done $460,000 in August. So once we launched D2C, that was where I really started to see the power of like ecom. And if you've got a good product and you've got product market fit and you know what you're doing with the advertising, you've got a good website, you're on Amazon, you're on Shopify, it's actually scary how scalable e-commerce is. And I've made a lot of these videos in the past, obviously talking about e-commerce and stuff like that. And, 6 months ago, 12 months ago, as I said, our results probably weren't anything special. But now I don't really think there's that many people on YouTube like talking about brands with this level of results. I don't know that many people that get to this stage. So yeah, it's been absolutely nuts. One of the things, like I said, is pivoting into selling subscription products, pivoting away from just selling on Amazon. That's completely changed everything. Is learning how to make content. essentially, once you know you've got the right product, you've got product market fit, scaling Shopify, scaling Meta is essentially just a question of making content. Now, we've got an advantage with that because I make a lot of content for our training community. I make a lot of ads and stuff like that. So I'm no stranger to making content. I understand what a good hook is, what a good body is, what a good CTA is. So now we've essentially hired a team. We've got like a mixture of agency and in-house people that are basically just making tons of amazing content for us. And that's really helped us scale the brand. So one of the reasons as well that I think we're going to get to this $20 million exit is this brand is absolutely perfect for retail. So we actually went to the US because all of our stuff is made in the US now. We went to the US. I'm supposed to be editing a video because we did like a vlog that I'll put on the channel if I ever get around to it. But we went to the US to meet our suppliers. So we've got a supplier just outside of Miami, and then we've got one in New Mexico. And these guys are just have helped us make, US made products. But these products are absolutely perfect for retail. Now, we're not going to go into retail yet. We're probably not going to do it before we sell the brand because A, we don't know that much about selling in retail. B, we've heard that it can be super, super like risky in terms of cash flow and stuff like that. But what we want to do is we want to go to a strategic buyer and basically be like, hey, if you put this product into retail, you can probably double or triple the sales in the first 12 months, which as a buyer is a pretty ridiculously sort of attractive prospect, right? So yeah, these are the plans. We're going to continue growing it. We're basically going to take it like 3 or 6 months at a time. In the next like month, we're going to kind of like do a soft kind of scope for potential buyers. We're going to start speaking to people through this broker. And then we're going to get some feedback on the brand, like things that they might need us to look at, maybe like some compliance stuff or, looking at how many suppliers we've got, like, is it concentrated in one place? There's going to be a bunch of feedback that we get from these potential buyers. And using that feedback, we're going to strengthen the brand so that we can hopefully get like this, this huge payday. So yeah, basically that's it. I wanted to give a update for the people that already follow us. If you've been following us for like longer than 12 months, you'll know that, yeah, we've been in the trenches. We've been building this. We've been building the training community. And yeah, it still feels a little bit surreal because you always kind of believe that you can do it. As an entrepreneur, you have to like believe that you can do it. And I'm not saying we've done it yet, but even if we don't sell the brand, we've built something that's absolutely incredible. Like making over 100K net profit with a brand is no easy feat, right? It's not something that's that anybody can do. It's an achievement, and sometimes you kind of forget that when you're just so head down, like working on stuff, right? So yeah, words of encouragement, I guess. If you're looking to start ecom, it can be done because we're not that smart. We just done it for long enough and applied ourselves, and it's worked. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if I don't know if you've got any questions around selling, scaling, growing a brand, whatever it is. I'll try and answer them as best I can. If you do want to launch a brand and you want to join our community where you can learn from hopefully obviously people that are legitimately doing this right now, check the link in the description. And yeah, I thought I was going to ramble on for longer, but I guess I'm not. So yeah, I can do another video like this to update you guys on what's happening and all that sort of stuff. What else is there? That's it. It's Friday afternoon. I'm going to go and see my daughter. Peace. See you in the next one.